I was so caught up in trying to save labor that I was always working in the business, doing menial tasks that I should have had other employees do, and actually spend time working on my business. But I actually felt like I was being held hostage. I just felt like, I couldn't break out and I was stuck. And that is not what I signed up for. What I signed up for was the freedom that owning my own business would give me. And the time with my family, the time with friends, the time I could take off. And I didn't see that coming at all. It was brutal. Hey, I'm Todd Woods. I pretty much was born an entrepreneur. I knew from a young age I always wanted to own my own business. So when it finally came time to do like a real business, I talked around to a lot of friends and said, hey, what business should I do? I mean, what do you think I'd be good at? What's hot right now? And I remember talking to my friend Mitch, and he said, oh, you got to check out this smoothie company. It's like just the new thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I've never even heard of it. And he's like, dude, you got to go check it out. So I did. I went and checked it out, and I saw the most incredible thing. I saw, on a rainy night, lines to the door of people lining up to pay $5 for a fruit smoothie. Then I brought my wife, then I brought my business partner, and at all different times of the day, these things were hopping. So I looked at my business partner and I said, that was providing the money, and I said, this is a cash cow. This is the one we need to do. Within 90 days, my partner and I signed a 5-store agreement to go build and develop 5 smoothie stores in Phoenix, Arizona, where we knew nobody. We didn't even know anybody down there. But I was so excited. It's like, I don't mind downsizing from this, nice house we just kind of refinished the basement, and you live in a small 2-bedroom apartment, knowing we'd have more kids and everything. It was worth the sacrifice. We were so excited. And so there was so much momentum working up to grand opening day. Again, that excitement, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm living the American dream. This is gonna be great for family, and I'm gonna be able to provide and have all this freedom and all this money and do whatever I want. And then grand opening day came, and guess what? Nothing happened. We opened the doors and we had balloons up. We did everything. We did some pre-marketing and everything we were supposed to do, but the lines weren't there. I slowly started to realize that the brand did not transfer from one state to the next. We opened a second store and thought, surely this grand opening is going to be better. And it was, like by 3 people. I mean, it was like maybe 3 people more. It seriously was also a bust. And I was starting to get a little nervous at this point. We're supposed to open up a 3rd store because we had a time limit of 2 years to open those 5 locations. But for that first 18 months, we were pumping in an extra $50,000 a year per store just to make payroll, just to keep it alive. So, during this first year and a half, I was gone all the time. I left before my kids woke up in the morning. I got home after they were asleep. And it was hard, but I knew that it would pay off because I'm an entrepreneur. I've got my own business now. I'm building my dream, and I knew it would take some time, but I would lay awake at night, and I started to really, really get concerned. I couldn't sleep at night. I was tossing and turning. I woke up every day with a pit in my stomach. I was starting to get calls from vendors saying, hey, you owe us money. We got to put you on COD, or else we can't deliver your fruit. I remember weeks where, I'd be saying bye to employees, and they'd say, oh, hey, yeah, so see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be great. And I'm like, yeah, what's tomorrow? They're like, it's payday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, payday. So I go check my bank account, not enough money in there. So I'll never forget the day I had to call my business partner, and I said, we're out of money again, and I don't know what else to do. I was beat up. I was, during this point, really, I got to a rock bottom place. But I had a great financial partner, and he said, Todd, we need to make a tough decision. Are we gonna build a 3rd store? Will this actually work? Or do you think we should cut our losses at $500,000? And that just weighed on me like a ton of bricks. So the following day, I went to the bookstore and went straight to the marketing section. I'm like, surely marketing, is what we need. If we can get more customers in our door, that will help save this business. So I was skimming through the bookshelf, and there I found a book that nearly jumped off the shelf called Guerrilla Marketing. It was talking about how to compete against big businesses on a low budget. I spent a couple hours and read half that book, and I had to buy it. I've got it. I know what I've been doing wrong. I have not been marketing correctly. As I sat there during those hours on the floor reading this book, a lot of things came to my mind, and one of those was I actually had to swallow my pride a little bit. I realized, you know what, Todd? You don't know as much about marketing and business success as you thought you did. And that hurt a little bit, but at the same time, it woke me up. And I realized I needed to become a student of business success, not just marketing, but everything having to do with business success. And so I dedicated the time, the money, the energy, and just poured myself into learning how to be successful. And that's how we ultimately turned this machine around, ended up opening the 5 stores, ended up living the dream, is because of all that time, money, and energy spent, and all the testing that we did. And this 3rd location actually happened to be long-term our best store. What ended up happening was I learned how to implement, take action, and do the right type of marketing that started to turn our business around. So we totally turned this thing around, and finally I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I now can see the dream again. I got the passion back and the excitement back, and we ended up growing these 5 stores over a 9-year period to huge success. We were actually doubling the sales average of the brand nationally. Out of 450 stores, we were growing every year at 12%, where the company average was 6%. To me, that was success. It is possible. And so my message for everyone out there that may be struggling or may have lost the vision or the passion is, you know what? It can happen. You just need to do the right things, like I learned to do. And so I've dedicated the rest of my life professionally to help other business owners.